Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode at Fueled by Growth. Today we have Elisa Frey, and she's a social media manager at Latana, an AI-powered brand tracking tool that helps brands make better marketing decisions by delivering world-class scalable insights. But before starting, I'd like to know more about your story and how did you start working at Latana?
Hi, thank you for having me. My story is not that long yet, but I have quite an international background. So I had a chance to connect with so many different people from different nationalities and also work background. Back in the day, after I graduated high school, I really wanted to become a journalist. And I knew that it was going to be a very exciting career, but very difficult. So I did my bachelor's in journalism. But then one day, Mad Men, the series came into my life. So I decided to do something about it. So I started marketing in London, and now I'm in Berlin working at a B2B startup. And I have experience in other backgrounds as well. So I have a hotel tech experience, hotel marketing, theater, magazines, and working in Latana has been, for the past 2 years, it's been a great opportunity to actually get to know brands that all of us love. And I think because we all get all of these insights, which are not easily, you cannot really get them. So with our system, we basically, brands that use Latana, they are also able to not only get insights about their brand, but also check what their competitors are doing. So I find this completely fascinating how you can actually just also look at what other companies in your niche are doing and you can do better. And I'm just very excited to be here and to talk about social media with you.
Yeah, that's really exciting. So it's really nice to hear your background, how you went to different countries. I think that enriches your experience immediately. But I'd like to continue because one of the things that you're doing at Latana is experimenting with real Instagram Reels. So I'd like to know more about what triggered you to start doing this, especially when we're talking in a B2B environment where it's such an uncommon social media platform to use.
Exactly. I'm not going to lie, it is not easy. With connecting with your target audience as a B2B is a lot more difficult. So you can see a lot of these old ways of promoting your product on social throughout the channels. It's just, you can see this becoming very saturated and the content that you post is actually very dry. And people actually can be turned off by you continually pushing something to them that they not necessarily want. So to distinguish yourself, you need to try new things and be a pioneer in everything that you're doing. So what we are doing now, and we started not so long ago, is we try to appeal to the human side of our target audience. The people that would consider using our product are Instagram users. So why not get into their minds through something that they can relate to? And a little over a year ago, that's when we started with Reels. We started experimenting with them. And I've always been an advocate for quality over quantity. So that was known to us for sure from the very beginning. So I knew that I wanted them to be very good as possible for this channel, and also to fit to our niche audience so that they can actually be discoverable. So we started off with something fun, relatable, talking about the issues that our target audience is experiencing. In our case, these marketers and brand managers. So we just started using various trending audio sounds and also the trends that are popular on Instagram. Today, we're also utilizing our blog posts. And this is actually quite funny because we actually do the reduce, reuse, recycle system in our strategy, because
as a content strategy for you to have the same repurpose in a way the content in various platforms. Okay, that sounds really exciting.
Repurposing. Yes, repurposing is very important, because if you create constantly, content creation is actually can dry you out, and your creative juices will be very, very low, and you really don't want that. And if you can create a great piece of content that you can reuse for something else, like Instagram Reels, that's something that you should consider. And it is actually not a secret to anyone that people are the information to use the information to actually understand it. It's much easier to see it in the video. So that's why we've been using our blog posts about some other concepts that we do. We do deep dives in them. We do brand bites, which is kind of also an overview of the brand that we of our choosing. Let's say we do a Netflix brand bite. We actually get information about them through our survey and our brand tracking tool, and then we get that information into a very nice PDF that anyone can download and see. And what we do on Instagram, what I do on Instagram Reels as well, and some of my colleagues, is that we try to get the most interesting parts from there and make people interested, so that helps us grow our brand awareness and also show us as the knowledgeable brand around there.
Yeah, that's really nice. So I would like to know a bit more, what was the perception of the audience? What type of responses you got out of this? Do you see that it is because it's not a new platform, it's a different platform in the B2B environment. Is it giving you a better response compared to the other ones? So what are the results there? If you can talk us through some of these details.
Yeah, exactly. I would say that for us, it's been quite a very nice journey. So it's not our main channel. Instagram is not our main channel. However, it's been very fun to actually be able to connect to the people. So the reels are not necessarily yet driving the leads, but they still can. The main idea is to grow our brand awareness. And since we started experimenting with the reels over a year ago, not a year and a half, I can share a couple of numbers with you if you want to see how it actually helped our channel grow.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So the first one I will go. So 174% post impression increase over Instagram, 93.6% engagement increase, and 97% follower increase of a year after doing the reels. It's a great number for a B2B company to actually not only using the employer branding that a lot of people could consider. We're doing something else. We're promoting our product in a different way than others.
Yeah. So that makes it a lot more engaging, and also it removes a bit the dryness out of the content that usually B2B companies use. So how easy, because I imagine you need to engage with stakeholders when from your company, you also need help from your colleagues. So was it easy to get them on board with experimenting with a new platform?
I'm very lucky to have nice colleagues. So I have on my marketing team, we have quite a few people who are already helping me, because as we all know, algorithms are not working on us. We have to work for algorithms, and algorithms need different faces. So as a one-person team, that was quite difficult at the beginning, because I was the only person being seen on Instagram, so that I needed someone else to help me out. So I got in touch with my colleagues, and they were very happy because they're the ones who are actually writing blog posts, and they have been great at doing it. So they actually are very excited to turn their content into a video, because they get a chance to talk people through in a under 1 minute video, to actually talk them through the content that they're writing. And the content can be, let's say 1,500 words is the blog post. And then you turn it into less than a 1 minute video. And then it's just easier to understand what you were talking about. But it can be difficult for I would say it's not everyone is as lucky as I was, I have to say, is that I had in the past, I had experience with people who just don't want to be on social media, who are simply do not understand
not open.
it.
Exactly.
I'm sure you, yeah, exactly, not open to these things. So as a social media manager, you kind of have to push, and some people get annoyed. But it's okay, because it is your job. So you have to do these things. And you have to actually tell them and explain to them why it is important. So you have to show them the examples. But in our case, we didn't have the examples per se to show them why it could work. So we just started testing and giving it time. And over time, I can just go back to the colleagues who didn't want to do it and tell them, you see, I told you so.
Exactly.
So that's been
you have the results, which is quite a good proof to say, okay, this is actually helping us in ways we maybe have never thought. But unless you start that experimentation phase, you cannot really go into it, right? So
exactly.
why reels are better now than normal feed posts. That is more related on the normal functioning of the platform. So why have you started with reels instead of posts, for instance?
Yeah, we have been using posts for a while, and then it's just reels help a lot with discoverability. And as my favorite person on Instagram, head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, is always saying this, that Instagram is now a video platform. It's no longer a post. It's no longer a text-based platform. You have to have a video. So you must have something that is everything in one, that is fun, interesting, educational, mentoring, all of these things. It is not easy per se to do it. But if you want to gain brand awareness, it has to be your choice to actually try it. It's not easy, but it is worth it. You don't need to post them often. You can do it twice or 3 times a week. It depends on your kind of content strategy. So you don't need to do it every single day, because that's not going to help the algorithm, because it's going to be, the algorithm would think, okay, what are they doing? Why are they posting every single day the same thing? For me, it just doesn't make sense. You need to make sure that you use the core content that you want to share and use these trends all together, which is, again, I'm saying it, I said it multiple times, but it is not easy. And to do them, it's just, if you want to grow your brand awareness, that is one of the ways you can and should try, because a lot of, not many B2B brands are doing it. B2C, okay, they're doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
But B2B brands, to actually do that, I haven't seen, I mean, I cannot name any who would actually do it as a product promotion on their channels. But that's, I would just suggest to try it. Yeah.
So what would you recommend to, say, a B2B brand that they would like to, start their journey on Instagram? What would be those first steps that you would recommend them based on your insights and experience so far?
I would just say that you just have to try it and give it time. You just see it working for you afterwards. Don't just give up after one reel, because that is not worth it. Because you might see, attraction after one reel, think, okay, I'm not doing any more reels, because it helped me reach the type of audience that I wanted to. But you need to be consistent. You need to keep working on it, and you will see the success after time. It's like with all the content marketing, or especially organic, because that is how it helps you. It's over time, the progression you will see. You will never see on the first day, unless it's a viral topic, whatever. You cannot see this success within an hour. So you do need to put time into it. You do need to research on what kind of content actually performs best on your website.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your insights. So there are a few things that I would still like to tackle, and one of them is how companies can use Reels to get a certain message across. So there is the challenge of creating new content, but also what are your tips for them to get a specific message across their audience, to their audience?
I think what I find the most important, to be authentic as well, and very raw in what you produce. Raw meaning being honest with your audience and just sharing with them the insights to whatever content pieces that you already produce yourself, and reuse the content that you have. Because, as I said, doing it from scratch every single time is not going to be helpful. And to get your message across, just to know your audience, you need to understand who the people are that you are planning to talk to, what niche it is. Do your research, plan ahead, make sure that you kind of understand how to work on Instagram, how these reels are helpful, and believe that they're going to be helpful. If you don't trust in this, it's not going to be, you're just going to do it just for, to tick it off. But it shouldn't be like this. You need to really go into it full mode on, just trust yourself that you're going to be there. It won't be easy the first couple of months, because you might not see any views. You might get upset about this. I'm talking from personal experience, but it's still very nice to actually see the progress over the year.
Yeah, absolutely. So it is in marketing, and that's something that is really, I think, misunderstood in a way, because everyone is expecting that results are going to happen really quick. It's going to be this overnight success, but it's really not that way. So I often find that even working in other projects and with other clients, it takes a bit of time to educate people and telling them this is not going to happen overnight. this is going to take time, and it requires a lot of discipline and consistency. So we need to move in a way, at least in the marketing field, from that perception of like this is success overnight. But I think on the other side, in a way, we as marketeers might be at fault for this message that everyone thinks that things are going to happen overnight. How are you actually using, say, if a blog performs, would you use it better than the others? Would you immediately take it into consideration to convert it into a reel? So does it help seeing the performance on other channels to decide whether it's something you would end up using as a reel, for instance?
Of course, yeah. I mean, anything that you can get information on, if you see that it is performing well, that should be your number one priority, because it means that people are interested in this kind of topic. And also, if it's something that is on the news, you obviously want to get in there because it is trending. How bad it sounds, it's bad, but it is what it is. You have to get on trends if you want to actually be discovered on Instagram. You need to use hashtags. You need to be sure that this is something that you're talking about is interesting for people as well, not just for you because you think it is. And as I said, you can go to Google Analytics or whichever tool and just see what is performing best, and just go to your social and see it for, say, this blog post, this post performed much better than others. Okay, I should consider it and turn it into something else. You have to be prepared that it might not work, but you still have to try it because this is the best performing post on other channels.
Exactly. Well, thank you very much for your inputs, for your insights. I think it's going to be very valuable for whoever is working in a B2B environment and wants that starts testing out with other strategies or even other platforms. Just take the risk and see what the output is, and be consistent, I guess. Where people can talk to you, find you, and know more about Latam as well.
So you can find me on LinkedIn, Elisa Frey. It's just as easy. On Latana, you can also find us on all social media, on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. We're at Latbrand. It's that easy as well. And we're very excited to have you.
That sounds great. Well, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your insights. Please follow Latana. We're going to put all these links into the video description below, and don't forget to share it with your network and subscribe. Thank you very much, Elisa, and I hope we can talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for having me.